Don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our 2 newly released books, Football, a Love Story, and What Did Football Teach Me? These books feature over 100 stories from current and former coaches, players, executives, and entertainers from across the football landscape, describing what got them involved in the game, what they love about it, and what life lessons the game taught them. You can find your copy or order your copy from our website at footballgameplan.com/books. Taking a look at my keys to victory for both teams in this ball game, starting with the Green Bay Packers, I think they have to run at the pressure that's going to be coming downhill from the Arizona Cardinals. They had a tremendous issue last matchup, trying to block this pressure from the Cardinals, and if they can't block it, the best way to defeat it is to run right at it and make these guys become run defenders as opposed to dropping back there and allowing Aaron Rodgers to throw the football. Run the football with both James Starks and also Eddie Lacy, and I think that could also help Green Bay have a lot of success. They have to sustain drives. I think that will help out their defensive effectiveness. In the first matchup, they couldn't stay on the field. The defense was tired, gave up big plays in the passing game. If this offense can run the ball, keep it in third and short in manageable situations, they can sustain drives, and it helps their defense adjust to what Arizona throws at them in the passing game. I just think all around it's about winning the individual matchups. Offensive line has to beat the guy in front of them. Defensive line has to win versus the Cardinals. Offensive line and set the edge. Tackles have to be made in space. Cornerbacks have to make sure they're effective in coverage and take away the football. If they can win the individual matchups, I think they can win the ball game. Moving over to the Cardinals in this ball game, you never want to rest on your past success. Whether you're playing a team for the second time in the playoffs or in the regular season, you always want to make adjustments, and that's what ultimately determines the game, what adjustments were made. And even though they dominated the Packers in the first matchup, can they make those necessary adjustments to continue to have success versus this football team? And they can't beat themselves. I think in the first meeting, it was 10 or 11 penalties the Cardinals have. If they have those type of mental errors and mental breakdowns in the second matchup, Green Bay can capitalize, and you want to make this game a track meet. I love the way Arizona plays defense. You don't know whether or not it's a defensive lineman, a linebacker, or a corner that's coming on a blitz or coming downhill. They have to make it a track meet both offensively and defensively by playing the game fast, offensively going up tempo, no huddle, doing different things to catch a Green Bay in a bad defense, or in some situations a bad switch as far as personnel is concerned. So I would make it a track meet if I'm Arizona in order to have some success the second time around. I like the Cardinals in this ball game. I look at the Green Bay Packers and their victory last week over the Washington Redskins, and they still had some of the same issues that we saw a few weeks ago versus Arizona. I think this is a team that will send a ton of pressure their way, put a lot of pressure on that offensive line, and will come away victorious once again over Green Bay.
All right, so in that other NFC playoff game, you have the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers going against each other in Arizona once again. It's going to be a rematch from a couple weeks ago. My X factor for the Cardinals is a guy that I really like to play, and that's Deone Bucannon. You look at what they like to do with him. They use him, a former safety, at outside linebacker. They blitz him. He had a sack of Aaron Rodgers a couple weeks ago. And then they also will use him in run support. He's very, very strong in run support. Even though he gives up over 100 pounds to some of these offensive linemen, he's still able to stand them up when they meet at the line of scrimmage. That right there is the personification of heart. So I really like what Bucannon's able to do in these games. And you look at what he did last time they played. He was a tremendous factor. I think Bucannon is the X factor for the Arizona Cardinals in this game. Looking at the other side, Green Bay Packers, they were able to rediscover something that Randall Cobb was able to do in his beginning of his career, and that's run the football out of the backfield. Randall Cobb is my X factor. He's not only dangerous running the ball out of the backfield, catching the ball out of the backfield. Most importantly, I think that he gives them a playmaker in the slot position, and I think that his X factor part of things will come into play in the slot against Patrick Peterson. Peterson typically travels with the other team's best receiver, so I expect to see him in the slot against Peterson, and I like what Randall Cobb is able to do as far as his footwork's concerned and getting open right away against a guy like Patrick Peterson. Those shorter, quicker type of slot receivers tend to give Peterson a little bit of trouble, so that's a matchup to watch. Let him run the jerk route. Do what you have to do to get him open quickly and get the ball out of his hands in his hands, meaning Aaron Rodgers' hands, into Randall Cobb's hands. Give him a chance to make plays with the football. Allow your playmakers to do what they do. I think the Cardinals are going to win this game, though, and I have the Cardinals winning this game in another close one. I think it's going to be 24-20.
Very interesting. You have a guy who's been called the best quarterback in the game by some pundits, and a guy who's actually playing some of the best quarterback in the game. You have that bad man Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers going up against a former number one pick in Carson Palmer and the Arizona Cardinals. Now for Arizona, what they need to do is get back to good. You don't need to always throw the ball 50 yards down the field to be effective. Run the ball, short passes, get the ball in the hands of John Brown. He'll be a big key if they're going to win this game. And on the defensive side of the ball, just keep doing what you're doing. Be very aggressive and take advantage of the Green Bay line, or lack thereof line. Now, as far as the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers seemed to get a little bit of his groove back in the second half against the Washington Redskins. So look for them to still try to let Aaron Rodgers be himself and help him out by using that full house backfield, by running the ball. You have to get some pressure off him so he can make those throws and not take so many hits. As far as their defense, they were active and ready last week, but the Arizona team is a different challenge from that you would see in the Washington Redskins. As far as rookies that have been helpful on these rosters, look, we know who Arizona's Rookie of the Year is, and David Johnson. He has been explosive since day one in game one, where he had a kickoff return for a touchdown. The Green Bay Packers have not really had a guy that has been impactful from that rookie class, but I think that they will get more help from that rookie class in this upcoming year, the 2016 campaign. As far as the 2016 draft, here are the things that they need to look for. As far as the Green Bay Packers, I do think that they need more of a threat at the wide receiver position. Jordy Nelson will be back, but you want to go after one of these talented guys in the first round. They're offered up. We've seen the impact that these new receivers are making on the game, and they need that for Aaron Rodgers. As far as Arizona, what they need to do is attack the situation. I would actually recommend for Arizona, early in the draft, to pick one of these young guys that is uber talented but not ready to take the stage yet. And I'll recommend a Cardell Jones. If they're picking late in the first round, you can pick this young man. He doesn't have to play immediately, and he can be extremely helpful down the line for this team. As far as the outcome of this game, I think Arizona just has too much on each side of the ball. And Green Bay, while they played well last week, they won't be able to hang. I think this might be the biggest point differential this week. I have Arizona 31, Green Bay 17.